beautiful people? Welcome to yet another episode of Echoes of Childhood with your one and only beautiful, amazing show host, Miss Kinyanjui. So come on in Guinea up, but don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. And also don't forget to pick a book and a pen because this is where we unwind our deepest, darkest moments and turn them into stories and realities as we heal and learn from them. So I want to talk about a person, a very important person in the community, a very, very neglected role in the society. So, guys, ebuka chini, chukua chai, chukua maji, chukua kiti, chukua kalamu, because today it's hot. At the age of 7, you are taught how to become a mature person. At the age of 13, you're taught how to become a parent. At the age of 16, you are taught how to become a financial responsible woman. I am talking about the firstborn daughter. Firstborn daughters are people who are very highly neglected in the society. Trust me when I tell you, this is something that so many firstborn daughters are suffering from them, and because they do not have an aspect where they can communicate about it, they tend to suffer with a lot of trauma. But don't worry, we are here to tackle it and we are here to help each other heal from it. So, allow me to introduce to you a word by the name parentification. Now, parentification is a role reversal where a child provides inappropriate, underline the word inappropriate, emotional or practical support to their parents or siblings, essentially becoming a pseudo adult. Now, firstborn daughters, they are introduced into a world called parentification. Now, when someone underline the word inappropriate, why am I saying inappropriate? Because at the age of 10, you are expected to understand your parents. You are expected to understand a certain scenario because of the notion, and let me put this in quotes, the notion that the firstborn daughters, they tend to understand. And I'm not saying essentially they have to be the firstborn, but the eldest daughters. Now, let me put it back. You may be the second born, but you're the eldest daughter in the house. Now, the world or the society tends you to understand because even though mwanamke, you're the eldest daughter, you have to understand. Where does this come from? Now, back, let me bring back into the traditional. When a boy child, when a family has a firstborn, or they have a boy child as a firstborn, it brings a certain legacy. There is that thing the king was born because he is gonna inherit the inheritance of the family. He is gonna continue the legacy of the dad. Now, if a daughter was born as the firstborn, the parents decided to be cautioned. Umezaliwa lakini mzazi ameweza kukushaniwa. Take care of your daughter very well. At the age of at the age of what? At the age of 12, 13, that is where they start becoming mature. So you have to tell them to do this and this at the age of 16. Wajaribu sana because that is where the teenage brutality inatokea ambao wanaanza kuwa kichwa ngumu and everything. But this is one aspect that people don't understand. The firstborn daughter, when they are being brought into the world, they are supposed to be the best friends of the parents, of the mother. They're supposed to understand the scenario. But now, the society has brought a norm where mzazi akipata firstborn kama mwanamke, it is never. We do not feel hawakwangi wamekasirika. Let me tell you, hiyo ilisha. But then, we only know this person will understand. Now, tell me why at the age of 10, the firstborn daughter or the eldest daughter, okay, they will be told, you know what, your mom and I are divorcing. Why? What will that kid help you in understanding that you guys are divorcing? Why not tell the others? Because I actually to be the eldest one because they will understand. She will also be told, you know what, we are facing financial problems. Our house our house is being auctioned by the bank. Now, that child grows up with financial solutions ambazo she herself cannot be able to provide. In her head, there are so many solutions, but physically she cannot be able to provide. So akigrow up and grow up akijua I am supposed to know it all. Now, how many of your parents, and I'm sorry today nitaongelea wazazi sana, how many of your parents have met this scenario? Ya kwamba firstborn amekuwa to an extent the work of the firstborn daughter is to take care. So they never have a chance to go play with their kids. Now, I remember listening to a certain lady, and she was saying at the age of 15, she could not play with her sister, her younger sister. And there were times she was telling her sister to do something, and her sister couldn't do it. And her mother told her, ya kwamba anakosa kusikiza kwa sababu mnachezanga na yeye. And I asked myself, at the age of 15, unafaa kucheza na mtu, your sibling, why not, especially with a sister like you, mbona usicheze na yeye? Why do we have this mentality that because you're the eldest one, you're not supposed to play, you're not supposed to be a kid? Now you become a parent at an age you were not supposed to be. Question is why? Okay. This it's very inappropriate for parents or for parents to the firstborn daughters to introduce issues because the eldest daughter can handle it. Okay? And also, this leads to the child feeling like they are not supposed to be a child or a sibling. And this makes them start feeling a certain guilt in them. Why? The mother at this scenario, mzazi anakueleza unafaa kujua vile utanisaidia, unafaa kujua vile utanisaidia. And definitely your head has not matured early. So you want that kid to mature early. They start feeling guilt because they can never share the problem. They start feeling pain, they can never do this because the world tends to see them to be mature. And guys, do not get me wrong. I really support maturity at the best level. But also stop forcing kids to be mature when they are not. Because this thing is causing a lot of pain out here. Okay? I myself am a firstborn daughter and I have interacted with so many firstborn daughters, and now I see them like, hi, jamani, kwani mlipitia hiyo? Kwani mimi nilipitia gani? And I tend to realize there are parents who have raised people well, but there are also parents who, because akona ile emotional trauma yake haja heal, anakuja analeta mtoto wake. Now let's talk about achievements to the firstborn daughter. Now, if a firstborn daughter right now opens a business, is the eldest daughter opens a business, that doesn't matter. It is her responsibility. If she pays school fees for her siblings, it is not considered as a success. It is her responsibility. Yeah? The world has created a very big thrift into the office of the firstborn daughter, of the eldest daughter, because they tend to understand them. Now, let me tell you, after tuachana na wewe mwenye ni firstborn, let's take a scenario where the firstborn is a man, secondborn is the lady itself. This girl will take up a role to have to take care of a very, very adult person. A person who's supposed to give her advice. Lakini yeye ametake up ile how will I put it? God help me. Ametake up ile parental, ameingia kwa vitu vya uzazi. Maybe she's 16 and this brother is 27, but she has to be the mature one. Such that she cannot be able to understand herself. Sasa yeye atajielewa na bado elewa watu wakubwa. Where are we headed, guys? A person asked me, or rather, no, I saw a question somewhere in a group that I am, and people asked, if one day all the eldest daughter would take a step back and let go, would every single one of us who we've been held by firstborn daughters able to survive? Because eldest daughter ndo anajuanga kukiwa na shida kwa nyumba, Eldest daughter ndo anajuanga kama mzazi ni mgonjwa, eldest daughter ndo anajuanga kama siblings wake wako sawa, eldest daughter. So they always they're supposed to think about the world, but they never think about themselves. Now I want you to look at statistics onto the girls, to the eldest daughters who have grown up in a society, or in rather in a family where they are taught to not consider themselves first, but consider the family. These people never grow and they never understand to love themselves. Unapatanga watu hata hawawezi kujifanyia kitu. Utapata mtu ako na nguo ile tu moja because hiyo mentality yake ni nikipata pesa ndio nafanya mlima. Nikifanya hivi nafanya mlima. Na si mbaya. Please do not, guy, don't misquote me. But really, who checks up on the firstborn daughters? Who? A firstborn daughter was taught never to cry in public. A firstborn daughter was taught to always be strong. Okay? They were taught to carry it all. They were taught it is them alone. They were taught the world does not listen. It is up to you. Now my question is, who is holding the firstborn daughters? Swali ambayo kila mtu anajiuliza kila siku. And I've seen people right now, I'm so glad right now it has come to places that firstborn daughters are having associations among themselves. We find groups of firstborn daughters encouraging each other. But then the question is, are we going to let this continue to the next generation coming? Ama, are we going to stand up and say, you know what? Even though we are raising these ladies to be very prominent women into the society, very strong women into the society, there is some places we have to like pull the string kidogo, let it go. Hello? Let it go. Let me talk about relationships when it comes to firstborn daughters. Now, relationships, umekuja kama mwanaume, you have fallen in love with a firstborn woman. Now, I have had this conversation with lots of guys and say, I would never want to date a firstborn daughter. I would never want to date a firstborn daughter. And I wanted to be curious because for myself, I'm a firstborn daughter. So I was asking, when I'm ready to date this, why don't you? And somebody told me, you guys carry a lot of burden to an extent that even if we are there, we try to let you guys believe that you cannot. And I took a step back and I asked myself, is it true? And then I decided I'm going to do a research on it. And I came to realize this thing is real. It's real. Because wewe unaonyesha wewe ndio unafaa kubeba kila kitu. So a man comes into your life and they want you to let go and you're like, no, I cannot, because you were never taught how to let go. You're always taught to be independent. So to learn a little bit of dependency becomes an issue. Okay? You find yourself hata ukiingia kwa relationship, things that they are supposed to handle, you are handling them. Unapata sasa hata kumeweza kuingia vita because the man sees you like you're trying to dominate the relationship, you're trying to become the head of the family, yet you're supposed to be the neck. But he started pale chini. You were never taught to be the neck. You were taught to be the head. You were taught to be the strong one. You were never taught, hata kama unakuwa strong, ukiingia kwa relationship unashuka. You were never taught that. Why? Things become an issue in very many relationships. And now I want you to, and I don't know how many of the firstborns are listening to me, but I want you guys to do a statistics. Go do your research. How many eldest daughters ambao huka kwa relationship, many relationships that was not last. Few relationships last. Why? Because relationship of eldest daughters or the firstborn daughters, they never last because they have a certain burden behind their back. They carry a lot. Yet, unapata ameingia bado kwa relationship. Ile imewaka ameingia kwa relationship. Bado amebeba familia yake, si ndio? Alafu akuja aingie kwa ndoa, anafaa bebe familia ya because ukienda mnasema your family is mine, my family is yours. So you carry the burden ya kwenye na una carry burden ya ambapo umeenda kuolewa. And also mind you will also bring kids into the world. So you have husband. So at the end of it all, you suffer in depression because umebeba familia yenyu, umebeba familia ya bwanako na umebeba familia yako wewe mwenyewe. You were never taught to be dependent, to at least depend on somebody akusaidie kidogo. And mind you, siseme ati uache kazi. I'm saying this. If there would be a way or a system being introduced to the kids who are going right now, let's say the Gen Alpha, anafunzwa yes, hata kama wewe ni firstborn daughter, kuna hii na hii nafaa kufanya, lakini don't overdo it, please parents, let's not overdo it because it is becoming an issue. It is becoming an issue. When you, I don't know what alone niko na hii chungu, but I am in a group. Let me disclose this. I'm in a group of firstborn daughters, and I see people coming and they DM watu wanapost hivyo wanasema, you know guys, I'm tired. And unachunguza unaona this person is working her ass off, is working her mind off. But what about the society? Nobody tends to appreciate. And the moment she decides, you know what, I want to appreciate myself. And anasema, you know what, let me take myself for a vacation. Akimaliza hapo, it becomes a very big entire case. I mean, hiyo pesa singeleta, hiyo pesa singefanya, but their success, their achievement is never noticed. I don't know, guys, but I would really love if there was someone out there, or to the speakers who have been talking about first daughters, please let's emphasize this valuable. Yes, yes, those who have suffered. Okay, kuna wale already they have suffered. Okay, and there are so many people who have gone to therapy sessions and they are being able to heal it. But what if tusipoongelelea about the root cause? We will always sing about the same song. Even as we continue to heal to other traumas, please, I would like us to just take a step back and remember that big sister you have. Don't talk to other siblings. When was the last time you sat down and you be like, how is my sister? Can I check up on her? But you're always calling her and about, hey, check it, season, just like to flang into me, check it, season, just now, and check it, season, just now, take it. But have you ever told yourself, how is my sister doing? You know what? Why don't I tell my sister kuja nipeleke nikambaye kahawa? That little appreciation shows a lot. It takes a big step. And I'm not talking to parents alone, I'm talking to our siblings, I'm talking to the siblings, please. Remember your sisters, they are not machine workers. Huh? You know, my mi hata sitapata pressure sistangu anafanya job. Chiki bro, mi hata sipati pressure sistangu anatumianga do every end of the month. Alafu, what do? Do you send her money also the end of the month? Hello? I feel like so far nikiendelea hapa nitakasirika mara mingi sana because this topic has been in my head, but I have been trying to be like, I don't want to come and talk things that I don't have. I want to come with a very fully researched topic. And I would like to urge you guys, in as much as we are helping each other, also pray for the first one. Listen, it's not easy being a firstborn. It's not. I'm a firstborn myself, and I'm so grateful that I have a mom who or a dad, my parents who really talk to me. But sometimes I be like, hata kama they don't seem to care about what I have accomplished, ama yenye sija accomplish. Hata kama they are not even asking for anything from me, I feel like kuna ile burden ya society norm, like mbona wasi wewe na firstborn hivyo. It doesn't necessarily have to come from the parents. The parents may be sweet. Hata utapata mzazi hata ipigie mtoto wake akimwitisha anything. Mtoto ndo anatuma. Lakini kuna ile societal expectation. Hello. So guys, as I went like this, that if you're a firstborn daughter, let me, if you're a firstborn daughter, please, let me talk to you and tell you something. Huh? Hatching firstborn daughters, this is for you. It is time to let go. It's time to take a step back. It is time to accept that you can never, ever solve everything in the world. It's time to love yourself. It is time to say that enough is enough. I can never, ever satisfy everybody into the society. Let me do my part and also love myself because, baby girl, if you continue with it, you are gonna end up into the grave and the life will continue. But what about you? Your life will have ended. The little achievements you make, celebrate them. It doesn't matter if the world is not celebrating. Celebrate your little achievements. Because the world will never be satisfied by what we offer. But when you're satisfied with whatever you find, baby girl, nothing is gonna stop. So it's time for you to live. So with that, remember, kama kuna point yoyote unataka kuongeza, don't forget to comment and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe onto this video. Pia nipate pale hivyo at Instagram at Madam Kinyanjui, also at TikTok at my story. See you then. Until then, tupatane. Remember to check up on your sisters, guys. Adios. Kwaherini.